Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Lore of League of Legends. I'm going to continue on from last time, covering someone who even in death remains loyal to his nation until the end. I'm of course talking about Sion, the Undead champion. Enjoy. One of the biggest reasons why the League of Legends was created were the conflicts between the two great nations of Demacia and Noxus. These two nations clashed in countless battles during the Rune Wars, where time after time they met one another to prove their superiority. As time passed, they both looked out for new ways to surpass the other. While Demacia's bet was on training and discipline making every soldier more dangerous, Noxus didn't bother with such common thoughts. They weren't restricted by their morality, and so many possibilities opened up to them. Dark arts, necromancy, these were all possibilities, and one order would be enough to unleash them upon Demacia. But that wasn't all that Noxus had prepared. While the Demacians had constantly been keeping their armies in shape, the Noxian generals had other ideas. Why waste good men if you can use animals in their place? Sion was one such animal, sent to the battlefield to destroy as much as possible and leave nothing but corpses in his wake. He's been referred to in the past as a battering ram due to the role he was given whilst out on the battlefields. He was sent straight first to break through walls of shields with his mighty double-headed axe, Chopper. This has allowed him to sate his bloodlust and keep him at a safe distance from the other soldiers. His brute strength and ability to take a lot of punishment had made Sion one of the favourite toys of the generals. He's been used wherever it was possible, charging in front of Noxus' lines. But eventually, the risks he'd been taking on a daily basis would finally catch up to him. Demacian soldiers, warned by the tales of their brothers, surrounded Sion during one of the many battles and captured him, and without any unnecessary delay, had been executed not long after. When the Demacians brought the beheaded corpse of Sion to their camp and displayed it as a trophy, they had thought that Sion's bloody ways had been put to an end forever. They celebrated and laughed in front of the warrior's corpse, and in the process, had forgotten to watch their own backs. Katarina, the famed Noxian assassin, had snuck into the camp and stolen Sion's remains from under the Demacians' noses, returning with them to Noxus. In reward for his previous service, a Noxian necromancer reanimated Sion as an undead monstrosity and allowed him to serve Noxus once more, even better than he could before. His body had been gifted with new abilities that he didn't have before. His trusty axe, Chopper, was now able to steal the life essence of enemies that had been damaged by it. As for Sion himself, he was able to create a shield around his body, protecting him from harm. He liked this new form. With his abilities improved and no risk of dying again, Sion's rise to power could start anew. Many soldiers would be the first to admit that they were afraid of death, but Sion had never been like that. And now, after being risen from the grave, even considers his death a form of promotion. It has given him more benefit than anything else he'd been given so far. But even with that in mind, Sion had to abandon his old life, charging headfirst into the front lines and swinging his axe to break walls of shields. It was not by his own choice, but with the creation of the League, battles were becoming less common, and there was no place for someone like him. No place but one. The Institute of War. Sion had been sent there to represent his nation with all the dedication he had left in his undead body. And that's all I've got for you this time around. Don't forget, if there's any champions you've missed so far, to click the annotation at the top of the screen to check the playlist. The remaining champions left to cover will be done over the next week or so try and show a little patience till then. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, I'll see you next time.